Cedar Lake. We have some particular proposals that we'd like to put in front of you folks concerning the amounts that we can and are willing to pay, and some other items that may come up. Kevin, would you enlighten us as to what we're doing?
Well, I think this all started with, basically we want to get together and talk about certain sections of the contract, whether we could make some changes or not. Specifically, I think it's geared toward the maintenance section. I don't know if everybody's ever seen this or not. I don't know if anybody wants a copy of it, but this is the existing contract. I think Ben, you got one. Need one?
Thank you.
Who else needs?
You put one here. Wasn't sure.
I think
I think I have it. I don't know. I got one, I don't know what.
There, I got one
Thank you.
If you look at, on page 2, it's actually page 2, section 4. That paragraph has always been kind of a thorn in the side of everybody involved in this thing, I think. And it's something we'd like to get rid of or change or do what we could to fix the problem. I don't know, I think some of the board members agree with me. I really don't want to know everything that has to get fixed on the rig or whatever. Fix it, do what you need to do. If it needs tires, put tires on it, right? I mean, and that whole paragraph is pretty vague about who's responsible for what. So we always get into kind of a email back and forth about, hey, this is wrong, can you guys fix it, blah, 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 you know, it goes on and on. So we've discussed in the past, why don't we just eliminate that? Let the town be responsible for the maintenance, they're using it, the truck anyway. And then somehow we'll, you know, we'll compensate for the maintenance part in the contract. So if, I've gone back a couple, 3 years, 4 years on it. All the maintenance right now and anything that we have that you guys use is basically on the engine. Everything else is either under warranty or really has no maintenance involved in it other than the regular oil changes and stuff that the contract says you're responsible for anyway. So our thought was why don't we do something to eliminate that section, put, like I said, give you guys, just take care of the maintenance, do what you gotta do on it, the repairs and stuff, and we'll up the contract to compensate for it. Make sense?
So that means you just apply an amount instead of.
Yes.
That's what we would like to do, just apply a dollar amount to the contract and let you just take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. And then the contract lives as it is, and we're not in the maintenance business anymore. Cause that's tough for us, who does what? I mean, if it's an oil change, personally, I think they're responsible for an oil change. You know, just different things like that, that we've had conversation with the trustees over and over again about being in the maintenance business, and it's like, we really aren't in the maintenance business. I don't know, I don't wanna be in the maintenance business. We buy it, you use it, you maintain it. I think that's fair. And then we will give you extra money for the contract for that purpose.
Yeah.
Not fully, but.
So again, I'll say I came since 1978 out of heavy equipment, and they did rentals, they did leases, they maintenance was always the responsibility of the person that was using the equipment. So, because you take like the ambulance, a brand new piece of equipment, the hours in service, it gets used, the value gets used up as you go on.
Correct.
So, doing the maintenance, and we're talking about the ambulance, but say we talk about the engine, every year that you use it, it depreciates in value. So maintenance is really not an overreach of asking the person or the town that's using it to step up and do that. I know that there have been years that, well, I can think of one instance that they responded, the engine responded out to an accident, had a flat tire. drove over something at the scene. They called tire repair, they came out, put a new tire on, and then it's like, well, we should probably put the other one on. So tire service came out and put another tire on the next day. It was twice as much as it was for the call that was out there. So, I mean, tires, belts, brakes, they're normal maintenance items that you use in equipment. So I don't, just where I'm at, I don't think it's a reach or that we need to increase the amount of the contract just for the sheer fact of having the use of the vehicles. Because that's not figured into the dollar figure any other way. I think, what's our contract, 160,000 right now?
Yes.
So there's no give to the taxpayers for the use of the equipment. There's nothing that they recoup when, like the ambulance, we buy a new ambulance, you guys are using it, it depreciates. And what value do the taxpayers get for that? So I'm just saying, coming out of a background of equipment that's leased or, that's the responsibility of the person that's got the lease. It always has been, and personally, I don't think it should work any different with the equipment that we've got, so. So, that's where I stand.
Can I comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Ever since I got on the council, I thought that that section 40 you mentioned, Kevin, was way too vague. Like, there's way too much gray area. And I like what you guys are proposing here, 100%. You don't have to sell me on it. It makes sense. I think it's better for accountability. Whoever the chief is, well, this is only a year contract, right? But to have this language in there, I think it leads to better accountability, because now when it comes to maintenance and repairs and that, the chief, answers to the Cedar Lake officials, and that money's being used, Cedar Lake money is being used for the equipment, whereas it can get abused, I guess. It's not you, Nick, not directed towards you, but, you guys are forking out money, or we're requesting money from you guys for certain repairs, and, somebody in the department's the one that's calling the shots on that. And there's a little bit of a disconnect there. I'm not saying there's ever been funny business, or ever would be, but I like the way this is structured. I like the way you guys are proposing the structure of it, for sure.
And it's not gonna change the other parts of the contract where it says, where the board can pay for other things or help out with something if we need to or whatever. So that's not gonna change. That's always been up to the board. It'll still be up to the board. So that doesn't change it. It's just that maintenance section. Like I said, it gets into, but if the rig, something breaks down, Nick knows they gotta get it fixed. Why is he gonna call me to go get it fixed? Just go get it fixed. Take care of it. It's your thing. Take care of it. It would just make it a whole lot easier, the whole mess. Oh, that's my opinion on it.
This is a 2022 contract, and it says 150,000 in there.
Yeah, it's the same language, Bob. I just didn't, we just change the dates every year. So it's 160,000 now.
Considering the controversy that seemed to always come up when it comes to certain aspects of maintenance, definitely would like to clean that up. There's been times I know that we've paid for things, if you wanted to get down and really gritty with it, we probably shouldn't have. But we do have a statutory obligation for public safety for in particular, the residents of the unincorporated township, but as well as Cedar Lake, Hanover, St. John, Hanover, and every other place that we could go. So I would like to see us get rid of that part of paragraph 4. I am not opposed to looking at an increase in the contract. I would consider that, because you guys are going to incur some costs. I think what we average about $15,000 a year, what we averaged, I think, and what we paid somewhere in there, could have been more, could have been less. So you take an average of that, probably only a couple of gripes that I'd have is, I think we as a township here have been very generous to the town of Cedar Lake for their services. We've kept in some pretty nice equipment. be realistic, 3 pieces of that equipment in that station right now are owned by the Township of Hanover. That's okay, we have that statutory obligation, and I don't take that very lightly. But I think somewhere down the road also, there should be some pursuit from other townships. Cedar Township, Cedar Creek Township. Not one time has anybody ever pursued these people to see if they would like to be on board with this as well. It says Hanover Township out here, not Hanover Township Bank. Well, I mean, I think we've been quite generous.
I agree with you, but, we don't cover any of Center Township.
So you don't do any mutual aid with them?
Oh, everybody does mutual
Okay,
aid.
well, in other words,
We
you
can,
cover it.
we can go to St.
Then there's
John,
a cost.
yeah,
So,
It isn't like we don't do it.
but they give us stuff too, mutual aid.
Bob, it may not be that,
Even if they get.
you could say that we don't cover that, but being on a mutual aid call, we're gonna be there first. Cedar Lake's gonna be there a long time before Crown Point. So, I mean, we are first in there, you're gonna,
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying
you
they
know
have
that,
to.
I mean,
cover a bunch, but in all due respect to the taxpayers of this township, whether they live in this town or St. John or unincorporated, I think there should be some pursuit made. And I know
So
you live
who-
in Cedar Township.
Rich, I agree with you, and I think it's been something we've neglected for decades. Extension.
We have brought it up many
Especially
times,
with
you
the-
know. And I have one other thing, and then I'm probably not gonna say a
So
whole
Tom,
bunch more. This new equipment, in particular the ambulance, all the people that I talk to, whether they're in unincorporated area or Cedar Lake or St. John, that equipment stays over here in this, on this west side.
All of the township
Okay,
equipment
Hanover
should stay on this side, period.
They paid for
They
it, you know, whether they're from St. John or Cedar Lake or unincorporated area, some of your money as taxpayers have gone into the purchase of that equipment. Therefore, out of due respect, I believe it should be maintained in this particular station over here.
Being housed over here.
being housed in
Yeah.
this
Yes.
location.
Understood.
I
Now,
think
I'm
that,
not saying don't use it wherever.
Oh, we
Yeah.
use it where.
All I'm saying is, this is where it's housed, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with you guys. If I was in your shoes, I'd say the same thing.
Rich, can I say something? That's kind of separate from the, that's just another part of the contract, I think something we probably would have, we could have talked, we'll talk about maybe after the maintenance part of it, if we get through that, but I think that is a question that we all have, is that even say after January 1, if everything stays as it is now, and then the contract, the new contract for next year gets implemented, and then if for some reason there was some change where now we say we're gonna close this one and we're moving everything to the east side, I think we have to leave ourselves in a position where we have kind of some kind of an opt-out of part of it anywhere, where if we had to, that we could, if it was possible to use, you know, more of St. John, something on the farther west side, because that's gonna increase response times a lot if you take them over to the other side of the lake.
Right.
So, I
Kevin,
mean,
can I just tell you, I have no desire to vote to move operations to the east side, total operations. I know there's an empty building and it sucks there's an empty building, but it doesn't make sense to me to move everything over there when, what is it, Chuck?
69%
69% of the call
of all
volume
calls,
is west.
west side 40, or west side 40.
Right.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for us and it doesn't make sense for you guys either.
no, I know, but I know it's just a concern
Yeah, sure.
that we have, and that, you know, some of our, you know, our people have, especially that far out when you start going further out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of why we cut it off at 231 and have St. John take that over, just because of the sheer distance of it, so. It's just something we're concerned about, so.
Gotta have conversation about it.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Everybody needs money and everybody needs staffing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Everybody's losing money the next 3 years.
Yeah, you'll have an opportunity though to increase your revenues, but you're gonna have to have the intestinal fortitude to do it. And you'll have to have the political will to do it. We don't have that opportunity.
What with the income tax?
Because, that's right.
Right.
Okay, we upped our fire EMS levy to the maximum. We done it 2 other times prior to this. When we set our budget in, it's at maximum. We can't go no more.
No.
That's it. We're to the top. We took our cumulative fire fund to the max.
We chose to do that
Yes, we
in
did.
the event it wasn't available later. So we chose to do that.
And you guys are gonna lose $75,630 in 26, $88,940 in 27, and $90,090 in 28.
We just did our budget, but we lost about 60. So it didn't go up to that full amount.
It didn't?
So we've already,
Regardless,
in fact.
another aspect, if you wanna put it in, as the annexations continue to take place in the northern part of the township, every piece of property that's annexed, we lose that AV for our fire, EMS, and cumulative fund. You have the opportunity, sir, we don't.
So do the schools.
They're having a referendum.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
we're
losing
not
millions of
schools.
dollars.
Well, that's not us.
Yeah,
Can't
but,
talk about them.
cause I talked to the superintendent of the little, schools, and he said, yeah, but you guys got something to do, we have nothing to do.
I don't know. Nick, how much do you guys go to Lake Dale anymore? I mean, is it still pretty regular?
Yeah, it's pretty regular, Lowell handles more, we'll go on wrecks and structure fires, but they run maybe 3 structure fires a year, not a ton. But their staff, like today, there's a fire in Lake Hills, they went to a box and they didn't even answer a radio or nothing, so during the day, there's,
That's what I thought, during the day, there's nobody there
so
usually,
it
but,
falls between us and Lowell.
because I know I think that's something that as a town, we probably need to do is approach, and Paul's got money, he can probably,
Paul
you know, it doesn't all have to go to Crown Point. I mean, you guys do go there quite a bit, I mean, everything on this side of,
Crown Point, we don't do too much, we only go on.
no, I mean here though,
Well, Center Township.
Center Township, Cedar Lake, Center,
In town,
yeah.
Yeah, Center
But,
Township.
but why
In town.
shouldn't, but Paul, you know, he buys a lot for Crown Point, why can't he, you know, he could help out
He could give you.
too if you guys need stuff, I mean, I don't see why you can't. Lake Dale's the same way, I mean, I've talked with Alice about it before too, and she said, tell him to come and ask me. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, it wouldn't hurt to go and ask, you know, to see what the heck, you know, maybe you guys can get some funds from them, I mean, even if it's some equipment or something, I mean, you know, do something for the town, you guys do a lot for them, why shouldn't they? I mean, you know, so I mean, that's one avenue I think we need to look at. And then the other thing I think we wanted to discuss tonight was, you know, what do you have any idea of a dollar amount, are you guys good with, what are you thinking, you have any idea what we're talking, you know, I mean, I think I know I gave Ben some of the numbers as far as what our levy was bringing in. I know I gave it to you at our meeting we had a month and a half ago. But I think I sent it to you, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, Nick.
The maintenance, like in lieu of the maintenance, you're saying, kind of?
Well, yeah, just as far as what we had available, as far as, you know, what our levies are and what we,
are you talking a budget estimate, Kevin?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, I'd be looking at a 3-5-year average or something and use that as a starting point.
Well, we've gone.
That's the number, you know?
We went up from, we were at 140, 150, and we were up, then we went to 160, and then we were, you know, and we've been trying to bring up our operational balance in our fund up, which we're still not maxed out on our operational balance, which is half of the year's committed funds that we're supposed to have in our budget in reserves in case we need to fund something if we didn't get our tax draws or something, so we're about halfway away from that, so. But with the new levy we're taking in, it's gonna increase, our levy is gonna go up to about 320 for next year.
And then when we brought St. John in to cover, we didn't roll back the contract price.
No,
We did not, we chose not
So-
to.
no, we didn't do
We
that
left the
then,
contract alone.
but that's what I'm saying, so our levy's gonna go up from like 260 to 320 for the next year. So, but on the committed funds, you figure right now we're committed at current levels is 200,000 with 160 to Cedar Lake and 40,000 to St. John. So,
Getting St. John 40, what does that take care of for them?
everything north of 231 north.
109.
109 north.
109th out
North
to
from-
Double Cross.
From Klein Avenue to State Line.
You've been covered by St. John.
So the big thing is Emerald Cross.
State line to Klein Avenue.
which we
couldn't
used
get-
to cover,
But
but,
we
Yeah.
couldn't get there
Well,
fast
yeah.
enough.
but they've annexed it.
Well, it was just
No,
easier.
it was the response time, was our,
Our response.
We have the
time
biggest
is- plus we have-
unincorporated area
Worry about it.
is Emerald Crossing. That is not the town of St. John. That is unincorporated Hanover Township.
Oh, they're covering it,
They
By
cover
contract.
the contract
okay.
that we have with them.
Yeah.
And whatever's left, which there's not much left of unincorporated area there. I mean, there is going to be less.
So we are, like I said, we're looking at, you know, what expectations, what are you guys thinking, you know, I mean, I've got numbers kind of in my head, what I'm thinking is fair, but again, I don't know what you guys are thinking is fair, so,
Well, like I said, I just thought if we were gonna keep things the same, or try to keep things the same, is that you would take like the last 5 years of what you guys have paid for maintenance and repairs, an average or something.
yeah, so it's been like 15 to 18,000.
Yeah.
The last 3-4 years that I did, I've got it over here buried in this pile here, but anyway, that's the maintenance above and beyond what you guys normally have done on the rigs in the past. So you guys still do the pump testing and the, you know, oil changes and all that kind of stuff, so.
So there's two things going on here. There's costs to be in this business just keep going up every year. But also the reality is that when St. John took over Emerald Crossing up there, our call volume also dropped too, and what we had to
Right.
respond to for you guys.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just being,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to hide anything here.
No.
You know, there's two ways
No,
of,
we know that.
yeah. So I don't want you to think we didn't acknowledge that either, you know?
no, we're just trying to, we wanna be fair, we're not, you know, we're not trying to hoard the money, we try to spend it too and use it on things that the town, you know, that the town, the unincorporated areas need to provide these services. That's how you got the ambulance, that's how you're gonna, you know, we wanna move on, you know, do some things down the road here too, I mean, we have had some discussions about the engine, what we wanna do with that, and I know that right now we're kinda got two schools of thought on what we wanna do with that, whether we keep it and refurb it and, you know, keep it in service that way, or we sell it to you guys, or what, you know, whichever is the best option here, so.
Question, are there any plans for you guys to hire a maintenance person that takes care of all of your vehicles?
So we hired the mechanic, town
Oh,
mechanic,
okay,
and Steve, right? Or, yeah, so he's our town mechanic. And when he first got on board, and I guess he's a pretty competent guy, but the focus was on kind of the bread and butter of the fleet, you know, the
Right.
pickup trucks and
Me-
smaller vehicles, yeah.
And
Public
police.
Works.
Yeah, and I think I talked with the previous chief and even possibly Nick about this too, that some of your guys' more complicated, more expensive equipment for the time being, I think we were in email on that, you guys have to send that stuff out, you know, so we don't make any mistakes in-house, that would be appropriate to do, you know? But it would be nice eventually to get him to be doing more, but, you know, I don't know what his workload is right now.
Yeah, so he's only one guy.
He's only one guy.
Yeah.
and I don't know if he's certified to work on the equipment?
For an oil change, no,
No.
I mean,
No.
but when it comes to other parts of the apparatus, doing certain types of inspections, then yeah.
Bigger things, yeah, okay. Which you would send out anyway.
Yeah,
basically.
but it depends on what the repair would be, but general maintenance, I mean, oil changes, greasing, fluid changes, stuff like that, I mean,
That
nothing.
person can do it,
He'd be covered under the town of Cedar Lake when it comes to liability.
okay.
But
Well,
like
you have to
repairs
pay a
and
guy
stuff,
like
then yeah, you gotta be certified.
I think
That's what I
I
thought.
think he's around 30 or so, if I'm not mistaken, plus benefits.
If you go up to Gary, their truck, Chicago truck, I mean, they got a sign-on bonus, I think it's $10,000. They'll help you buy your tools and every other thing. It's hard to compete with them people.
Yeah, I know, yeah. He's stuck around a little while so
Well,
far.
we got 3 people in our shop and the average age is well over 65.
A lot of knowledge.
That's it, but not a lot of time left.
So if I can ask Nick, this dollar maintenance, what are your thoughts on it? And based off of what you've seen through.
Well, like Yeah, what Kevin says, it fluctuates so much every year. I mean, you could have a major repair or a year where just the oil change for the township equipment, tires every other year, so I mean, the price fluctuates quite a bit. The confusing part about it is what is covered, like everyone has said, it's very gray in item or number 4, I believe, on in the contract. So confusing part about that is just that, who is responsible for what exactly to the T. So to eliminate that, to look at some different stuff, you know, with an increased contract amount, with, you know, the purchase of, the old township engine. I mean, there's definitely some options, but I would support eliminating item 4 in its entirety. I think it'd be more uniform across the board for the town to maintain everything, be responsible for everything. We insure them already, we fuel them. You know, I mean, the repairs that may come, we'll have to figure it out within our budget, or, you know, if something major like an engine or something, we just have to look at a reappropriation or a different fund to take it out of.
Mary Jo.
Could we create a, I don't know, clerk treasurer, but could we create a non-reverting fund so that 15,000 can stay there just for repairs? So if you have a down year, that money rolls over to the next year, so you have a bad year.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, I mean, that'd be a great idea, Mary Jo, but when it comes to the contract, I don't know if we can take that money out of that, because it does go to, I believe, a cash reserve or general fund, because it's a contract. I don't know if you could take the money out of there and put it in our
I think
non-reverting.
it's a good question to ask,
Yeah, that'd be a question for
because
them.
it would only make sense that money would stay for repairs, it shouldn't go for anything else.
Right.
And if it's put in the general fund, it can be used for anything, and that's not how it should be. And that's just my opinion. I think if you're gonna give us repair money, it should stay in a non-reverting to repair.
So if we take 15, let's just say there's $15,000 for 3 years, that's 45,000. And if you take 18,000 times 2 is 36,000, that's 81,000. Divided by 5 years is $16,200. That's the average of what we would have paid or what we've paid. So Kevin, what are you thinking? I mean, our contract right now is 160.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't wanna speak out of turn here with you guys are the board, it's your decision before it is mine, but I would think.
We would have to approve it.
We've kinda held it a couple of years as far as we've held the contract down and all that. I think an increase in the contract overall, I think both of them wouldn't be a bad thing to increase a little bit, you know, for each one, for the St. John one and the Cedar Lake contract.
Okay.
And then plus the maintenance. I mean, again, like Rich said earlier, our assessed values are gonna go down because we're gonna keep losing areas out there. So this 320 ain't gonna be 320 very long. So I don't wanna get crazy on it that we're promising money we don't have, because I don't know how long we're gonna have it. But I do think if we can, you know, we can help out a little bit to you know, bump the contract up some, I don't have a problem with that. I was thinking, actually, we talked about it a little bit here and there. I don't even know if I wanna throw a number out there yet, but I was thinking, we've been at 160, and I thought, well, if we're talking 15, you know, about 15 to 20 for maintenance, you know, if that's what we wanted to bump the contract up to, and I personally didn't think it'd be a bad idea to bump it up a little more, whether we went to, you know, 190 or something like that, you know, and then give St. John another, I'm thinking maybe, you know, I've approached St. John, I haven't heard back from them yet to set up a meeting, but I'm gonna talk to them also, see if they're expecting anything else, and I don't have a problem bumping theirs up a little bit either to give them, but I mean, it's expensive, we all know that, we all know what these costs are for this stuff. You know, every time that rig leaves the station, it's a lot of money, so,
I think you guys deserve an increase, okay, above and beyond the maintenance thing, that's my personal belief. But I agree with Kevin in the fact that at this point in time, we can be really stupid and give you the whole boat. 2 years from now, you're gonna have nothing to Okay,
Yeah, if you don't have the money,
that's
you
the
don't have the
reality.
money. Ben wanted to say something.
So, did I hear you correct that you were to compensate for it to take chapter 4, or paragraph 4,
that you would bump the contract from 160 to 190.
With the approval of the
It's
board.
up to the board. Now, I'm just kicking out what I think is fair. I think, you know, we have some funds available and, you know, we still have funds available for other things that we wanna do. Like I said, we have talked about it and I think I've even mentioned it to Nick before. We've gotta do something with that engine. We're kind of been waiting for you guys to get your new engine because I know, we talked about it for a while about that. Maybe we should, once you guys got your new engine and up and running, we would take that engine out. If we still owned it, we'd take it out and get it refurbed. Do something with it to get it,
So
you know.
do you prefer the town to buy, 'cause the conversation we had earlier was, that was an option that the township might want the town, or entertain the idea of the town purchasing that engine.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
if
that
that's,
was one option we talked about.
and if that's the case, does it make sense to keep the contract at 160 for 2026, and then you just sign over the engine to us?
Well, that's up to the board, though. I don't have that authority. Personally, my opinion's been, and everybody's heard it, I think we should get out of the fire engine business, okay? I've said that numerous times.
So that.
But I think there's the other side of that too, where, you know, and Rich has made a good point about it too. You know, we have it, it runs, the chassis is good, everything else, so what's the difference whether we keep it or we sell it to
Yeah,
you?
well, we need a value on it, and it might be smart to do a transfer of the over 3 years, depending upon the value of the engine.
Well,
I mean, if we go to 190.
that's the
keep it
bad part of
160.
a fire engine of that age and being a
Well, I
LaFrance.
hear you. That's why I
It's
say-
probably, the value is not what everybody thinks it's gonna be, so.
But you have to
Can't
determine
get
the
parts
value.
from it.
Pardon?
Can't get parts from
I
it.
know, you still need to determine the value.
Yeah, no,
Nick, have you done any research on that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean,
little old fashioned when it comes to equipment. Once I own it, well, it's hard for me to let it go. Okay,
prices are all over the place, and like Kevin had said, American LaFrance is no longer in business.
Right.
The smallest, easiest parts you think you could get, we can't get them anymore. So I've seen them anywhere from $10,000 to $45,000 in that year range through brokers like Brindley Mountain, or, you know, they specialize in brokering used fire equipment. But I've seen them as low as $5,000. It's, you know, depends on the mileage, the wear and tear, and again, availability of parts it's not existent.
It might be good if we could find one just like it and just buy it for parts.
I think someone did that up north, didn't they? Didn't they have a little friends and
They
they wanted
had
another one?
one that wasn't an accident, and they purchased it from the insurance company, fire service did it specifically, purchased it back from the insurance company, and they just let it sit in their yard and they just
Take
pick parts off it. But that's since been probably scrapped, it's been probably 5 to 10 years ago.
I have a question, I wanna start here, with the new engine that's gonna be coming, hopefully in a handful of months, is it wise to keep this unit?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, alright, that's answered. So, and I don't know if I heard this in a dream I had, but there was talks over the past couple of years of you guys refurbishing that thing.
yeah.
And so what were the thoughts on that? You know, the contract and everything aside, was there thoughts of refurbishing it and then you guys continue to keep ownership? Or refurbishing it and selling it to us, or how, you know?
Well, I think either way, that's probably gonna have to be done. I think if you bought it, you'd probably end up having to refurbish it, you know.
I would speak against putting any additional money into that or refurbishing that past plan. Just because the setup of the box itself, the chassis itself, I don't see the return on investment that it would take to put into that piece of apparatus.
I know when I talked, well, maybe, it was a guy, when I was talking to the guy at fire service, and he was talking, now, we're not talking about an expensive one, we were talking about maybe like 40 or 50,000 just to go through everything, fix anything that needed to be done, maybe redoing some of the pump and stuff and that kind of stuff. I don't know.
It's being maintained, it's operating just fine, it's kind of one of those things, you know, my theory is why take good money and put it towards something that, just to make it look better.
you guys use it
Is the
every day,
paint
correct?
faded? Yeah, it's faded, is there scratches in it?
Well, I don't care about the paint, I really don't, I just,
Like $40,000
if it needed anything
$50,000.
mechanical or, you know, that's the only thing I was
mean,
thinking.
it's got a good Cummins engine, the pump's good, now it's American LaFrance pump transfer, so if that fails, and we've already had one of those fail, that's about $10,000, but I mean, to put $40,000 or $50,000 into that, you'll never see your return on it ever. So to refurb that, it's
Yeah,
either
but you can't buy a new one either. I mean, $1 million is a little bit out of reach for us right now, so.
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
even take that body off it and put on the new chassis, the way the new engine specifically is set up, now having a tender too, the way that box is set up, the top half of the compartments, there's only this much room, like it's impractical. Our new engine, the compartments are full 24 inches deep, ladders go through the tunnel, like the best amount of space you can utilize on a box, so even to take that, and then who's to say you don't take that entire body off, order a new chassis, and then you get the body up in the air, and it's like, oh boy, now we need another $10,000 worth of metal work here or there.
We were just talking about just going through the rig, redoing, fixing anything that needed anything,
Yeah, I mean,
That was the only
everything's
thing we discussed,
in working
so.
order on the engine, short of a major engine or trans failure or rear end, which I mean, we've worked on it here and there, it's old, it's going on 20 years old. But it's functioning,
Yeah,
I don't see where $40,000 or $50,000 worth of work would even be needed on that engine. I mean, besides cosmetics, but it's a fire truck, it's
I ain't worried about the cosmetics at all.
Well,
So at this point, you, the town, would not have any interest in purchasing that vehicle right now as is.
what's gonna be, if we sign a new contract that says that we're responsible for all maintenance, that'll be another piece of equipment that you guys own that we have to maintain, correct?
There's three pieces,
Bumper.
the truck, and
engine,
the tanker, and the ambulance now. Of course, the last two pieces, I believe, are still under warranty, so that shouldn't affect the maintenance costs outside of oil and your normal service. Yeah, this truck here could, as the gentleman said, never know. But I know one thing, those chassis are pretty good. I'm not worried about the chassis. I'm not worried about the engine, I don't know what Cummins it has in it. But I guess to replace it, if someday all of a sudden we had to have an additional one or a new one, I don't see that. So, I don't know, it's working.
The liability would be the same to us either way, because we're.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're gonna pay maintenance on it either way, whether you got it or we got it, you're gonna pay maintenance on it, so.
If you guys think it's wise to purchase the thing and, take ownership of it, you see a benefit to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to what you said, including it into the contractor's view and just doing
If there were a swap.
Yep.
And even exchange for 2026, then 2027, we can get the reimbursement for the maintenance costs.
Just one of the thought process, that's why I wanted you guys here, so we could kick some of this around and see which direction you guys wanted to go. Like I said, I'm not sure.
I think 30,000 would be on the high end.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like 20.
it.
25.
Compromise?
Well, I don't know, like I said, I've got some comparisons for that rig, and again, like Nick said, they go anywhere, the ones I got go anywhere from like 20 to 50, but those are retails. So I mean, I don't know, I've got like 4 or 5 examples in there of that truck and a little bit older, but fire trucks are a premium right now too, they can't buy new ones. I mean, they're so damn expensive, who can afford one? I mean, so, but I don't think the township is ever gonna be in that situation to be able to buy an engine without going into debt for it, because we don't have that kind of money coming in anymore. I mean, can we buy an ambulance? Yeah, but can we buy, but to get near $1 million, that's really not gonna happen for us anymore that I can see, so that's why we're, again, having these discussions, so.
Yeah, we're not in the fire or ambulance business.
Yeah, we can be in a little bit of it, but I mean, buying new trucks, new engines, a ladder truck, forget it,
Hard
I
for us
mean,
to do that. We'd be hard for us to do that.
yeah, not without going into debt for 10 years or something,
Yeah, sitting on the board, I'm not going into debt for it.
I will
I'm gonna
not
tell
do
you that right now, I won't sign that contract.
No.
Nope.
I won't be here in 10 years to fulfill that obligation.
Yes, you will.
Well, I will, but I'm
Not here.
not here. I'm not a
Since I've been
lifetime.
on the township board, I have refused to mortgage taxpayer money.
Yes,
And I'm not gonna change tonight.
No.
Yeah.
I can
I
tell you that.
agree. I agree.
It's just something that I can't, I am proud of the fact we paid cash for this equipment. Everybody's got a stake in this thing. People in Cedar Lake, everybody who pays taxes.
Yep.
In Hanover Township. We set that up, it didn't all come from unincorporated, it came from everybody. And I respect that, folks.
I agree.
So I think the only thing we need to figure out now is, like I said, is there a number you guys are comfortable with, or do we wanna, you want us to present a number to you, do you want us to, about the engine, we'll have to talk about that too, about as far as whether we sell the engine or not.
I think we're in concurrence that the maintenance thing is gonna go bye-bye.
Correct.
Are we pretty well all on the same page for that? So then that'll give us an opportunity as the township board and yourself, come up with a number that we'll present. I think they know, we're in that $15,000 average area. And I do believe you folks deserve an increase. I don't know how much, but we can't at this point in time leverage our future, Because as Kevin said, this is all gonna change here, boy, pretty quick.
And I don't wanna get used to spending your money if it's gonna end up being because we wouldn't be doing ourselves any service or the next group either.
Exactly right.
They have to adjust.
That's exactly
It's
right.
been a good, long time relationship, and I'd surely like to keep it that way. And most of the people I speak to from the unincorporated area, when I mentioned to them I told them, I said, we're gonna spend some of your money. And they would say, on what? And I said, we're gonna buy an ambulance. Okay,
No problem.
there was a difference of attitude. I can say, hey, we're gonna build a new park over here or whatever. Maybe they would think about that a little bit different. But when you're talking public safety, everybody has a stake in that game. That's my view.
Yeah, so maybe if,
I think, excuse me,
yeah,
I think we have enough now. We have we have a board meeting coming up on Wednesday to get our final passage on the budget. We'll probably discuss this some more. Maybe we can throw a number at you guys then and go from there. We just like to get this done before the end of the year.
or between now and our board meeting,
Our conversation.
if you and Nick could talk and maybe put a value on the engine and what it would take to take that over, and then what our contract price would look like, that would give us some sort of an idea.
That's true.
When's your new truck supposed to be in?
I'm gonna be late this year, early next year.
Oh, wow.
Well, they're telling me end of November, but let's face it, we got 3 major holidays coming up in there, so. I'm confident we'll have it by
Well, I
the
may
first
not
of
be
the
here
year.
next year,
We all might have.
Good Lord may take us all
Yeah, never knows. So in that case,
You
as far as I'm concerned, the elimination of the maintenance thing first, and then your idea, sir, we need to kick that around and see if that's feasible for us. Just throw some numbers around, we wanna do as quick as we can, in my opinion. Get it to you guys, and then you can put it to the entire town council.
And then make sure that our equipment stays housed here. That's the third thing. That's,
I said,
those are the 3 things I,
probably sounds a little childish, but I think,
Until it becomes their equipment.
okay.
It's understandable,
well,
very understandable.
it's still township paid for it.
I've had more than one person talk to me recently that are Cedar Lake, Hanover residents. That part was brought up, was where is this gonna be housed? I said, you have a right to have that because you helped pay for it. So,
That's all I have.
anything else anybody have? Mary Joan, you have?
No, I'm good. I'm looking at that non-reverting fund.
I think, we've made some progress for sure this evening.
I think we could probably, if that can be set up too, I'm sure we could do a amount for the contract and amount for the non-reverting fund, and they could be separated as far as coming from us. If that would fix that problem, I don't know, I mean, it's something.
Yeah, that could work.
That's a good idea, if that will work, yeah.
We'll look into it, cause I just
You know,
think
I mean, that's something you'll have to tell us if that can be done.
if you're giving us money for repairs, it should be used on repairs, nothing else. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, that way you'll have,
It'll
like
be
you said,
just
you'll,
the contract number, but
you'll have a fund that continues to grow, you know, unless you get, I mean, yeah, there may be sometimes you get hit with something, but again, we're not going away, we're not saying we're not gonna not help with anything else, we've always done that, so, I mean, we'll continue, I mean,
But this way, we got equipment to have our own fire department, but we surely can't do it.
yeah.
yeah, right?
We don't have a building, and you guys can't staff one, we surely can't staff ours. So,
It's
And
down the
had
road.
the town not taken over the fire department, it had probably went bankrupt.
there's a lot of challenges gonna happen to
I thought it was.
municipalities and
Twice,
everything.
Not gonna comment.
Yeah.
Kevin, I did have a question on, page 3, you have item number 7, auto aid agreements, this was specifically to the northwest corridor, Emerald Crossing. Are you guys comfortable just removing that? I mean, we do have auto aid agreements for all structure fires, both us and St. John for all of our communities. But you have on there critical EMS calls.
Which one you looking at?
Number 7, it's on page 3.
Oh.
Under, it's item 7. I noticed in there, I know this was talked about before, critical EMS calls.
but if there's mutual aid, there's no point in us having that in there. I mean, if you're all on mutual aid,
Well, I believe it was
Correct.
specifically for that, the northwest corridor where you guys contract, St. John.
Auto aid has a different meaning than mutual aid.
That's
Yeah.
correct,
that's correct.
The auto aid means they're all sent, there's,
at the same time.
I think a lot of that was put in there for the, more for the
When we spoke with
schools,
St. John that time,
that somebody was responding, I didn't want it where anybody was not responding to like Lincoln, because we didn't, you know, why, before I think you guys used to go to Lincoln only and St. John didn't go, and we're like, wait a minute, it's a school, if there's a kid down over there, you send everybody you can send, I don't wanna, there's no reason that we're not sending everybody, so I think that was why we put that in there.
But now that you have contract with St. John, I'm saying, is it really needed?
Yeah, we could remove that, but it'd
we
probably
could
be,
ask them,
it'd probably be
at
good for
St.
you
John.
guys to be coming in, to be on that anyway, so that you guys are going on that auto aid instead
Yeah,
of
if it's
that,
a
you know.
structure fire, us and St. John do it, doesn't matter where it's at,
Yeah.
in the districts, we're.
No, I know, it's a little,
Kevin, I got the
to
25.
make sure that when
It's
they
not in
used Creek Township was important,
the auto aid thing?
that's the closest fire
Emerald
department we have.
Crossing phrase was not in the 2025 item 7 auto aid agreements.
No, there was no, it was never specifically for Emerald
That's
Crossing.
probably why. It
Yeah.
was.
The auto aid agreements were
For
Wherever.
for wherever, because before they didn't, it wasn't, when, with the 2 radio systems and everything else, it was a total mess, so we were just trying to, I wanted to make it so everybody got dispatched, I don't care if
Right.
it came from Southcom or county, whatever, somebody better dispatch somebody out there, get them out there, so. I could look into that one,
So
though.
it might not even be, I didn't even realize this is the 2022, Kevin.
Yeah, that's-
So-
Right, that's what I'm saying, it's not in the 25.
Okay.
Perfect.
Rich, I do have one more question.
Yes,
Who creates this contract? You guys or us?
we have,
Thank you.
Dave,
That's all.
Dave has redone it 100 times,
That's all I need.
a little
okay?
bit of tidbit. But last year, the year before, we sent over the same contract from the year before, and it was sent back, you gotta do this and that, but it was good the year before.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yep.
I feel like
That was my first year here, I was like, what?
So.
Same as last year. It was good the year before.
And he wrote it.
That's me.
Right.
He wrote it and sent it back to get redone because he didn't like what it was, but anyway,
The dictionary changes every year.
yeah.
That's right.
See the new words they added? I don't get it, but anyway, that's the honest to God truth, that did happen, so. Cause this was really done, there was a mishmash of it when I first got in there, and then Dave wrote, this was his copy or what you guys had, and this is what, the town council wanted at the time, so it came from him. So,
So when we amend this, cause there will be amendments made, you guys are gonna handle that?
Yes,
Okay,
and then,
and then we'll review
then
it.
we will present it.
Okay,
yeah, I've got our attorney working on to rewrite that section. Of course, then it'll go to you guys and it'll go to Dave again, so we'll see what he,
Rewrite or use an eraser.
I just think strike it out. But probably all you need is that first couple of sentences, right? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at
Rewrites,
it.
it's more money if you erase
They
it.
can do
It's
it in the
like-
Word document, they can do it straight out.
Or just put in there that the town is responsible for all maintenance on any township equipment, I mean.
One sentence.
So, yeah, I think it's a pretty simple fix. I haven't gotten the rewrite yet, but I will have it real soon, so. But like I said, we got a meeting on Wednesday, we'll put some numbers together and then we'll present them to you guys, but I just wanted you guys to understand where we're at, what we have available, so I'm not hiding anything, everything above board here, so you know what we got coming in. So, you got any questions or anything else I can answer for you or try to?
we all have our marching orders, I guess, right?
What's that?
So we all have our marching orders, you guys are Nick's gonna work on getting, a number on that unit, we'll work with Nick to get a number on that unit, and then you guys will work on some kind of proposals for the contract dollar amount and the maintenance dollar amount. and Throw those on the wall.
See if it sticks.
See if it sticks, yeah.
It seems like we've worked as a good team.
Yeah, we'll get it
We
figured out.
do,
That's the idea, my
we're
friend.
not compromising.
I hope.
All right,
Anything else?
short and sweet,
Awesome. Well, that's it.
under an hour.
We're gonna adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Second by Charlie.
Done.
That being said,